Alex Tapley, and I'll be discussing the regulatory influences on the supply chain of New Zealand Zespri kiwifruit. Food safety and regulations internationally have become increasingly significant in order to prevent the risk of diseases and foodborne illness. There are numerous kiwifruit growers and producers throughout New Zealand. However, Zespri is the sole global marketer and exporter for all New Zealand kiwifruit. Zespri International Limited is the world's largest marketer of kiwifruit, selling into more than 53 countries globally. Zespri has a large focus on meeting all consumer needs and satisfying consumers with a significant focus on delivering high-quality kiwifruit internationally. Zespri is a New Zealand-owned and operated company based in Mount Maunganui, however has offices in 21 different countries worldwide. Kiwifruit is a significant export earner in New Zealand horticultural sector, generating approximately $1 billion for exports in 2016, and also continues to be New Zealand's largest single horticultural export by volume and value. New Zealand kiwifruit's main producers are derived from the Bay of Plenty, with a large focus on growing kiwifruit, delivering a near 140 million trays for export in 2016. China is Zespri's largest customer and expects to sell 24 million trays to China alone this year. The Chinese consumers are wanting high quality and safe products with Zespri's highly recommended produce. This assures Zespri is having a positive partnership with China. Here is the supply chain of Zespri kiwifruit, and it includes 6 key steps to assure a perfect product is delivered from orchard to shelf. The supply chain begins with a pre-production stage, which is here, and then moves on to the harvesting stage, then to the processing stage, then to the distribution and export stage, the marketing stage, and then finally to the retailer and the consumer. I will discuss 2 significant regulatory influences from across the Zespri supply chain. The first one I will discuss is the export requirements from New Zealand. All kiwifruit being exported from New Zealand require approval from Kiwifruit New Zealand. However, exporting to Australia requires approval from the New Zealand Horticultural Export Authority. The Kiwifruit Export Regulations Act 1999 has been designed to specify the role and functions of Kiwifruit New Zealand and establish that Zespri is the primary kiwifruit exporter of New Zealand growing kiwifruit. Kiwifruit that does not meet the exporting specifications of Kiwifruit Export Regulations Act 1999 will not be sold internationally. These requirements include blemishes, maturity level, or ones that do not comply with food safety standards. The regulations state that Zespri is the single best seller of kiwifruit in New Zealand. Therefore, permitting them as the only exporter from New Zealand, and all other kiwifruit growers in New Zealand must comply and make collaborative marketing arrangements with Zespri, as well as meet the terms of the Kiwifruit Export Regulations Act 1999 for their products to be exported. The other substantial influence on the Zespri supply chain is the China Free Trade Agreement with New Zealand. Products from New Zealand origin entering China can claim tariff advantages under the New Zealand-China Free Trade Agreement. The 2008 agreement between New Zealand and China has opened up huge Chinese markets of kiwifruit. It's an inter-country agreement that surrounds the amount of kiwifruit sold into China, and the terms and conditions of duty-free or trade-free has gained a unique competitive advantage. With China being the world's second largest economy, the FTA has created substantial opportunities for New Zealand. New Zealand and China are about to restart negotiations to upgrade the free trade agreement because China and Australia have just negotiated a free trade agreement with a lot more benefits than the original free trade agreement with New Zealand, which could cause a significant impact on the New Zealand industry. A substantial challenge that has occurred in the kiwifruit orchards in recent years is the spread of the disease PSAV, which is a bacterium that is commonly found in the orchards. With a vast number of orchards, can cause the control of bacteria to be difficult. KVH, which is also known as Kiwifruit Vine Health, has developed a PSAV best practice guide to gain knowledge to growers and therefore manage the disease. The New Zealand Public Service Association has designed the PSAV rules and regulations that all kiwifruit growers must comply with in order to pursue safe and disease-free orchards. In conclusion, from orchard to shelf, regulatory influences impact each step of the supply chain. These regulatory influences have a significant impact on companies due to the considerable costs involved, including the auditing and compliance strategies, and the need for employees to deliver high quality and safe food products for consumers. However, there are many substantial positive influences that regulations have throughout the supply chain, including the assurance of delivering food safe and high quality products to the consumer, as well as gaining certainty in the retailers and consumers throughout the international markets.